So here we are in the shop today. We're going to show you how to assemble the pieces of the HEIGH10 so that it creates that standard double DIN chassis that allows you to mount this awesome 10-inch floating multimedia radio into any standard double DIN dash kit. We're going to be using this double DIN kit to install the HEIGH10 into a Ford F-150 today. First, we start with the main bracket. We're going to install this metal bracket onto here. You see there's two little notches. We line those up and we install 2 screws into the bracket. Take these little tiny screws that have the pan head on them. One on this side, and another one here on this side. Once you've got these 2 screws in place, you've essentially created the bracket that will hold the brain of the HEIGH10. This now slides right in here, and we're going to line up these 2 holes and install 2 more of those same screws with the little pan heads. Simple screws that mounts the brain to the mounting chassis. This is what's going to give us our standard double DIN size to mount in the kit. Take a look at this 10-inch display, how we're going to mount this in the truck. On the back you'll see several sets of screw receivers. These allow you to line up the bracket where you need to align the HEIGH10 display for your vehicle application. Also, to help align the monitor the best for the application is the wedge bracket. This has a peg and a slot, fits together like this. This allows you to adjust the monitor to one side or the other so that you have the best viewing angle for the driver in the vehicle. So we can mount the monitor to the left or to the right, again giving the best viewing angle for the driver in the vehicle. And then you install the 4 set screws through the back. Alright, so in this vehicle installation, we want to have the monitor pitched toward the driver. If you are not using any kind of angle wedge, you're going to use the 4 standard screws. Because we are using the angle wedge, we're going to use these longer screws. I'll go ahead and get these out of the way for now. Here's the bracket. You notice it says top. And we want this to pitch toward the driver. So I'm going to put the wider side on the right side of the vehicle. That's going to be the faster side. So that's going to make the screen pitch toward the driver. We'll find some holes and I'll go ahead and install these screws in here. Once we get it into the vehicle, if it doesn't line up exactly where we want it vertically, we'll just remove these screws and slide it up and down as needed. The shorter screws are going to go on the side with the shorter side of the bracket. And the longer screws are going to go on the side with the longer side of the bracket. Alright, so then we've got the 2 screws here, 2 up top, 2 screws down below, and the bracket is now installed. We can latch it into the receiver and snap that into place. Now is a good time to point out that you can adjust the front angle of the monitor, and you put a set screw in the bottom or in the top, depending on how you've aligned the monitor for this installation. I think in this vehicle we're going to make it vertical. So now I'm going to put set screws here and here on the other side. So to install the 2 screws into the mounting bracket that lock the face either vertically or tilted, you're going to use the M510 screws. These are the thicker screws. This is the first time we're installing a screw into a plastic receiver. Everything we've screwed into so far has been metal, so you're actually kind of going to go ahead and push in a little bit and thread this while you're screwing it in. So it's going to thread it into plastic. And then the other screw on the opposite side. Now that we have the set screws in place, the screen is locked. So when it's in the vehicle, we can slide up and tilt out to remove the monitor, place it in, latch back into place to reinstall the monitor. So now that we have the HEIGH10 all assembled into our double DIN mounting bracket, we're going to go ahead and make all the wiring connections, and then we'll be ready to take it out to the truck and finish the installation. Now with all the wiring connections made into our HEIGH10 and everything mounted into the bracket, we're ready to head out to the truck, plug it in, and finish the installation of the HEIGH10 in the truck. Now that we've made all the wiring connections behind the radio using a radio replacement module, we're ready to finish mounting the dash kit in the truck, put the dash panel back on, and then make the final adjustments to the 10-inch display to make sure it looks perfect in this truck. Now we'll put the factory dash panels back on. Finishing putting the dash panels back together. We're going to tuck these guys out through here. Set all the factory dash panels back into the truck. So, and then we can connect the HEIGH10 monitor. Alright, so now with the bracket mounted in the truck, we're ready to attach the HEIGH10 display to the mounting bracket. First, we're going to install the accordion boot that keeps everything nice and clean. You'll notice right at the top of the bracket it says top here, and underneath the accordion boot it says top as well. So basically we're going to take this and just fit this right over top, right up against the monitor itself. So that's going to keep all your wires tucked inside so you won't see anything poking out behind the display. We make the last two wiring connections with the USB and the power for the LVDS. Once your wires are plugged in, just tuck those inside the kit. Start at the bottom of the display and lift up and hook the top of the HEIGH10 display onto the kit. Now that we have it installed in the vehicle, we can check the fit. If we want to move the display up or down, or change the pitch side to side, or even front to back, we just lift up on the HEIGH10 screen and pull it down, and we would make the adjustments to these brackets here, or these screws at the bottom. That's going to allow you to adjust the HEIGH10 to fit perfectly in your installation. So here we are in the truck. Now we've got the HEIGH10 powered up. We can see this awesome 10-inch multimedia display. Gives you swiping ability up and down. You can touch buttons to move through screens. Audio settings for EQ and all kinds of cool features like that. There's going to be a demonstration video where you can see all the awesome features of the HEIGH10, but I wanted to show you what it looks like in the truck now that we've actually got it all mounted in here and hooked up. We do have the steering wheel controls hooked up so you can control everything from the factory steering wheel controls. The HEIGH10 does also have Android Auto and CarPlay, so using the USB connection that comes with the radio, you can plug in your phone and you can do navigation and voice commands and all those awesome features you would get from CarPlay or Android Auto on the HEIGH10 in just about any vehicle. Thanks for tuning in and watching the installation of the HEIGH10 10-inch multimedia radio from Stinger Electronics.